This is the new Nokia N97. What apparently some people are saying is the new iPhone killer from Nokia. They say that because it's a touchscreen phone, as you can see. It's kind of seen as an iPhone killer, kind of like it looks like an iPhone to some degree. There's a touchscreen, obviously, just not very many keys down the bottom, just a main menu key that just flips between a few things and lets you go back to the home page. And that's about your lot on the front screen. All the rest is controlled by the touchscreen, as is pretty much par for the course these days with your average smartphone. On the front of the N97 you will see a small video camera for 3G video calls, some speakers, a few keys down there, nothing much. On the side we have the camera button, volume control, there's a nifty 3.5mm headphone jack, just on off switch, few other things, USB port there, and the camera on the back. Now the camera, I don't know if you can see that, is Carl Zeiss lens, and it's 5 megapixels in size with a dual LED flash. And the camera actually works very well indeed, which is a nice feature. Smartphones generally don't seem to worry about the cameras, not entirely sure why. The Android phones, the ones that have come out so far anyway, apart from the latest HTC, they're only 2 or 3 megapixels in size, and the iPhone obviously when it first came out was 2 megapixels in size. This though is 5 megapixels in size and actually comes up with some rather decent photos. So as you'd expect from a Nokia then, the features aren't exactly too bad. There's also GPS in it, and Wi-Fi and HSDPA and pretty much everything else you'd expect of a Nokia N series phone, which is what this is, because the features of this are pretty much what you got on the N95. In fact, if you compare the two side by side feature-wise, I don't think you'll find much of a difference at all, which is interesting. Anyway, one final thing to note about the external features of the N97 is the keyboard. Now, those of you who remember the E90 might be thinking at this stage that it's just an E90 with a different keyboard setting, different keyboard form factor. And you won't be too far off actually. I mean, the user interface is slightly different. There's obviously the touch screen and the form factor is slightly different, but you've still got the concept of the keyboard underneath and the screen on top, just that it slides out in a slightly different way. You've even got the same annoying cursor control button here. The only thing different with the keyboard, it's not quite as good as the E90. You've also only got one shift key, and the space key for some reason is over here. I guess that's because the way that it flips, if you look at the hinge there, when it snaps up, which it does, you've only got that much space left for any keys. So they've not actually been able to fit many keys into it. This does mean, in order to get at the numbers, for example, if you can see that, they share keys. So the letter T, for example, has the number 5 on it. So you're doubling up keys there, and you have to keep on pressing the symbol key here in order to access things like numbers and all your punctuation. Now, in practice, that's not that bad when it comes to things like web browsing or even writing emails for that matter, or text messages. But if you're going to write anything more lengthy than that, say a blog post or something, that would become extremely annoying extremely quickly. So this isn't a phone that's designed for large amounts of text entry. However, if you compare it, say, with the iPhone, which doesn't even have a physical keyboard, it's got its annoying virtual keyboard, that's not too much of a problem. But if you are looking for a phone to do lots of writing, whether it's email, long emails, Microsoft Word documents, for example, or even just blog posts, then I recommend you don't go for the N97. Perhaps go for a different phone with a different keyboard, such as an Android phone, which I'm a big fan of, like the G1, or to push a Windows mobile phone. I can't believe I said that. Anyway, so that's the external features of the Nokia N97. And so what I'm going to do next in the next video is just take a run through the different features.